many times that I cannot memorize these 49 processes. And many of the trainers says that you need to memorize these processes for your PMP exam. First of all, let me just end this myth forever. You don't have to memorize these 49 processes. However, you do have to understand these processes. And let me show you how easy this is to understand these processes. Now, anyone who is preparing for PMP exam, I'm 100% sure that he knows that there are five process groups: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closing. And I'm sure he knows that there are 10 knowledge areas: integration, scope, schedule, cost, quality, resource, communication, risk, procurement, stakeholder management. The real issue comes about these 49 processes that you have to memorize this. Instead of looking them in the form of knowledge areas, I have arranged them in the form of process group. Basically, that's how I teach my students. That's how I believe all the projects happen. So you can do it in this way. Now you see, you have to make a story out of it. You have to make a case study. You have to take an example that you are doing a project, how you will do. Of course, it all starts with a charter. And once you have an approved chartered, you move with the stakeholder. So you just write develop project charter and identify stakeholder. In the last column, you know that once the project is end, you close the project. So you write close the project. So two process groups are completed. Now, in the planning, we know that in integration we get complete project management plan. So you write develop project management plan. Now from scope till stakeholder, write plan management. Whichever the knowledge area is in the scope, plan scope management, plan schedule, plan cost, plan quality, plan resource, plan communication, plan risk, plan procurement, plan stakeholders. We have 10 processes marked there. Then whenever you get a scope, you get requirement management plan and you get scope management plan. We have the activities, we sequence them. Once we have sequenced them, we estimate duration on those activities. Once we are done with estimating duration, we know that we have to make schedule baseline. The same thing, we have the activities, we estimate cost on them, and then we get the cost baselines. So we are done with the most three important process, three baselines we have. We already have quality management plan. From these activities, we all whatever whenever these activities are created, activity list, attributes, and milestone, always remember you have to find their duration, their cost estimate, and their resource estimates. Now we go to the risk management process. Once you are in the risk management, you need to identify your risk. Once you have your list of risk, you need to rank your risk. First you rank them low, medium, high, that is qualitative risk. Perform qualitative risk analysis. Then you move towards further getting a number in a quantitative analysis. That becomes perform quantitative risk analysis. Then you plan their responses, positive and negative both. And we are done with the planning process. Now when we come in the execution, this is the most important process. We have to do work, deliverables are produced. So we get direct and manage work, then we manage the knowledge. We know that in scope, schedule, cost, there is nothing because we already made baselines here. You have planned the quality, now you manage the quality. Now always remember from the process group three important things. The three important things of this process is managing deliverables, managing quality, and managing team. So when we manage the team, first we acquire the team and develop, then manage team. Whatever we have planned for communication, we manage them and we implement our risk response and we conduct proper procurements. And along the way, we manage stakeholder engagement. Once we are done with the execution, we go to monitoring and control process. In the first process, we validate the scope. We basically accept those deliverables that were produced in control quality, and then we control scope, schedule, cost, and of course quality. We have to control our resources, and we have to monitor the communication that is happening, and we have to monitor the risk along the way. We control the procurement, and also we close the procurement here. We monitor stakeholder engagement. Once we have done this, we combine all these things in monitor and control project work. And if there is a change request, it goes to where? All the change request always goes to perform integrated change control. And we have close project or phase. And in this way, you can make a story out of it, and you can learn this in one of the best possible way. My friends, this is a very easy process if you understand it. If you make it a kind of a story. If you don't make a kind of a story, then it will be hard for you. I hope it has been helpful for you. Thank you very much. See